Day trading has probably been one of the most eye-opening things I've ever done in my entire life. Learning how to day trade, and right now, like I am making like okay money from it. I don't do it as much as I was doing it a couple months ago because my YouTube started picking up, but I've gotten to a point where I'm profitable with like longer term plays. Intraday I'm not so good, but I have been making like my last trade I made like 400 quid on, so I'm pretty happy with that. But it's taken a long time. It's taken a long time. It's taken a lot of trial and error, a lot of failure, and as long as you pick yourself up, you can do it. Now, day trading is one of those things that you hear about a lot, and it kind of sounds like a Ponzi. It kind of sounds like a scam. It doesn't really sound like a real thing. It doesn't really sound like a real career. You see all these gurus on YouTube who talk about it, but do they really know what they're on about? I'll be honest with you, most of them are BS. Like, most people are chatting shit out of their mouth, okay? I've been doing this for about 2.5. I've been learning about it for 2.5 years, and I've been making money with it for the last like 6. What? It's April, right? So since September, September is when I really started taking it very, very seriously. But let me give you guys some backstory on my trading and investing background. So, 15 years old was the first time that I ever bought any asset. So under my dad's name, I bought like £300 worth of Bitcoin with some like birthday money that I had. So I bought it when it was like £7,000 per coin, which was about 10k dollars, right? Now it's like 30k. So I made like, I made like a grand and a bit on that, which was nice. And then over the next year, so from 15 to 16 years old, I basically just dropped in some money into Bitcoin, into ETH. And I still have it. I haven't sold it. I still have it. So that's cool. And then when I started to really get into like actually doing it properly as like a career, I was about 17. It was my year 12 summer was when I started to really look into it, and I started learning all these things. So while I was revising for my A-levels, I was looking into like technical analysis. So I was looking into MACD, RSI, SMA, EMA, Fibonacci retracement. I was looking into all this crap, right? And I ended up realizing that it doesn't really work. Like it doesn't, like no big high-level traders really use this stuff, okay? And I had like a whole strategy. I was testing all this stuff out, and like it worked. It kind of worked on paper, but like I knew that it didn't really work, and I couldn't really wrap my head around it. So now my A-levels have come, studying my arse off. I've kind of took a break on the trading stuff, and yeah, I finished my A-levels, and summer is when I started to kind of care about it more, and September specifically. So here's some background on what actually happened during that time. So let's take it back to September, which is when I started taking it more seriously. So I turned 18 in July, right? And I kept saying to myself, between 16 and 18, I was like, okay, when I turn 18, I'm going to start trading. When I turn 18, I'm going to start trading. I'm going to use real money. Because legally, I couldn't before. And it was always kind of like a, what's the word? It was always kind of like a crutch. Because I knew I kind of wasn't good enough anyway. But I was like, oh yeah, when I'm 18, when I'm 18, when I'm 18. And then eventually I turned 18. So I put 1,000 quid into an account of my own money, of my own hard-earned cash, $1,000, and I lose. I went down from 1,000 to $940, and then I stopped. Then I stopped trading. I was like, okay, obviously I'm not very good at this. I'm gonna take a step back, and I thanked myself because that's one of the best things that I did. I knew where my mistakes were. I was like, this isn't working. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna cut my losses while they're small, because a lot of people would have lost to $60, and they're like, oh shit, I've got to make my money back, and they start doing riskier stuff, and then they lose even more and more money until it's all gone. And that's so easy to do on crypto and on forex with leverage. Like you can just erase your account just like that. Like it's so easy to do that. And if you get emotional in the moment, that's all your money gone. You can't be emotional about this stuff. And like trading has really taught me to, you gotta stick to the plan, you gotta be patient, and you gotta be disciplined as hell. You can't get like upset over this stuff. If you lose, you can't get upset. It's very tempting to, it's very easy to. But you have to be like, you have to be a shark. You have to not give a fuck if you lose. Be like, okay, I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to put it in my trading log. I'm going to see what was the problems with it. Were there any problems that I overlooked when I got into the trade? You have to be so systematic. And that kind of organization, that kind of analysis I feel can be applied to your whole life. Like, I'm doing YouTube right now. I need to apply the same level of analysis to really get the most out of it, to really understand, because trading, you can't just do it like on the side. Like, if you're watching this, right, and you want to be a trader, you want to be like a day trader, like full time, bro, you can't do it on the side. Like, right now, in September, I spent probably about 5 hours every single day practicing. So, going through videos, and the guy that I used was named Cotton Candy TA. If you type up Cotton Candy TA, he'll come up. And I went through all his courses, which was about 200 videos on YouTube, and I made notes on all of them. I still have all the notes on my Notion. I spent a whole 2 months going through it before I even touched using real money. And then I started using real money again. And you know what? I was relatively successful. Like, I went from like a $300 account to like a $450, $500 account. And it was growing slowly. And that's the plan. Like, compound interest is very, very powerful. If you make like 1% a day, like, I'll do the maths to you right now, okay? Let's say you start with 1,000, okay? If you start with $1,000, let's say $1,000, £1,000, right? And you make like 1% a day, after a year, your 1,000 is 38 grand nearly. After 2 years, it's 1.4 million. Now, 1% a day sounds very easy. There's the maths for you, by the way. You can see, I'm not making this up. That's compound interest, right? If you make 1% a day, on your account, you're going to be printing money, unlike anyone else. And it sounds easy enough. It sounds very, 1% a day, that's easy. I can do that. Yeah. You realize that 1% a day is fine, but doing it every single day, that's the hard part. The consistency. That's the hard part. You can make 20% today. Doesn't mean you can do it every single day. You know what I'm saying? You can get wrecked just as easily. This is what people don't understand. The problem is people go into trading wanting money now. They just want it this second. That's the problem. Let me ask you a question. This is the analogy I always use, right? If you were going to get heart surgery on yourself, would you let a first-year medical student operate on you? Would you? Of course you fucking wouldn't. Are you stupid? Would you let some first-year student who barely knows anything do surgery on you? Of course you wouldn't. You'd be a fool. But look what people do with trading. They do the same thing. And the issue is that nobody would ever let the surgeon do nobody would ever let that student do surgery in the first place. But with trading, there's no one stopping you opening an account, depositing 10k, putting on leverage, and going crazy. And that's what happens. People just get wrecked. Like you know, KSI, right? Like, I remember he put some money. He makes a ton of money, right? But he's lost a couple mil on crypto because he's gone crazy with leverage and he doesn't really know what he's doing. Like, it can happen. You can just get greedy in the moment. And I'm not gonna lie, you can easily get wrecked doing it. It's not something that you just pick up one day and just start doing. It takes a lot of practice and discipline that most of you probably haven't got the balls for. I'm gonna be honest with you. There are days where you're losing money. I mean, I was never losing a lot of money, but like, you know, a loss is still a loss. Like, even if it was just a pound or two, a loss is a loss. Like, I still feel it a bit, you know? And because it's like, it feels like your progress isn't working. But no system works all the time. There's going to be losses along the way. That's just in there. That's part of the game. Like, you're going to have days where you lose money and that can reflect on your mood if you don't control it, and you will feel like shit. It's like when you upload a video on YouTube and it performs shit. It feels like that almost. Except with the YouTube, right? Like, a bad performing video probably won't affect you if you're not even monetized. But like, losing money is different. That could actually affect you quite badly. It's tough. It really is tough. And I don't think anybody should get into like trading unless you're ready to put in the work. I took a gap year. I had the time. I could wake up at 6 a.m. and I could study. I could spend hours watching videos, taking notes, taking what I learned and practicing it, and then trying with real money. I had the opportunity to do that. Now, I've put trading as a bit of a back burner recently. I've put it on the back burner a little bit because my YouTube is starting to do well. Like, my YouTube blew up in February. I was like, shit, I got some momentum, so let me just take this. And the fact that I spent months learning about it before has allowed me to do it on the side. Bitcoin took a fat drop. I had all my buys ready at the levels that I had calculated for myself. And about 3 out of 4 of them got hit. And I just sold a couple days ago and I made like a good couple £100 out of it. I made a good trade on Solana as well, right? And you just cash out your profits and there you go. But I didn't do that by accident, you know? Like, I planned that out. I spent a couple hours analysing the best moments to do it while minimising the risk, you know? The concept of risk to reward is a big thing in trading. And that can be applied in your entire life, which I think is very interesting. Risk to reward, basically, it's called your RR, right? And it's a number between, well, it's just a number, a positive number, right? And an RR of 1 is basically you have the potential to make £10 or lose £10, right? An RR of 5 is if this trade wins, you make 50. If you lose, you lose £10. Now, obviously, the higher the RR, the better, in theory. But you have to think about it. As the RR goes higher, the probability of the trade losing goes. Sorry, as the RR gets higher, the probability of the trade winning goes lower. So if your RR is like 100, right? Yeah. Your stop loss is at 1% down and your take profit is 100% up. Well, what's the chance that it never hits the stop loss and goes straight to 100%? Like, the probability is a lot lower, right? So it's all about finding the balance. And that's the same thing in life. That's the same thing in self-improvement, right? It's the exact same thing. Is going on your phone gonna, like, what's the risk to reward out of it? The risk is you lose time. The reward is you get a quick dopamine hit. The risk is not worth it. Is it really worth it? That's the question you have to ask yourself with these kind of things. It's really tricky. It is really hard. And it's taught me a lot about discipline and sticking to the plan. Even when it goes to shit. Just following through. And being okay with the short-term losses. Because it's a long picture. You can't let the little dips in your account affect you. You have to just be like, alright, it is what it is. Continue. That's the same thing in life. You can't let the little things that don't really make a difference make an impact on you. You have to pick yourself up. You have to be the fucking man and be like, alright, I'm just gonna get on with it. Find that support bubble around you and push yourself forward. But this is like a very rough, quick video on trading. I can make like a whole detailed version on this. I'll make like a full like 40-50 minute video on everything that I've gone through so far with it if you guys want more content like this, because I'm still trading right now, like on the side with the YouTube, and I'm doing alright. I'm not doing as much as I did, but I'm not making like crazy money. Like a good month is like a couple of £100. A bad month, maybe I make like £100 or something. I'm not doing it a crazy amount because I'm not relying on it as a source of income. I don't cash out my profits. Anything I make, I put it back in. Like, I don't need the money. So, I'm in no rush to make a ton of money. Like, obviously, I want to make more money, but it's about finding a balance. So, when I started my YouTube channel, on my main channel, right, I'll link it in the description. I actually have 2 videos about day trading on it. I actually made videos on it. And I decided that, you know what, that isn't really the direction that I want to take my main channel. I don't really want to be remembered for the day trading guy. No offense to those guys, but that's not what I want my legacy to be. I kind of like the social kind of side of things and talking to people more, you know? I find that more enjoyable, and I find it, I feel more proud of showing those videos to people. I feel more proud of showing my content to people, and I'm more proud of it myself. But if you guys want more videos on trading and investing in finance, I'll put it on this channel. Like, this channel, I'll put whatever the hell. I don't really care what happens to it. If it dies, great. If it blows up, great. I don't really care. Because it's just a dump. It's just a mind dump for me. But yeah, if you guys want more on it, then drop comments in the description, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, and yeah, let me know what you guys want more of. I'll see you guys in the next one.